Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. And before we get started with today's show, I just want to give out a few URLs. Of course, you know I do this every weekend because I want you to stay in touch. I want you to keep in touch. Reach out to me on these social mediums, if you will. But anyway, the first URL is, of course, to my Spreaker account, and that is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. And of course, you can follow me, like me on Facebook, and that is https://www.facebook.com/Vivian E. Moore. And if you want to check out my Pinterest to see what I've been doing out there, because I have so many different pages on Pinterest, but one of them is dedicated to writing and to blogging. If you just go out there and just look at the different ones, I think you'll like it. Anyway, that one is https://www.pinterest.com/Vivian Moore 48. And my Twitter handle is God's Property 46. Excuse me. If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, that is https://Instagram.com/God's Property 51. And I would love for you to check out my my website, and that is on Wix. But the address is https://VivianMoore.wixsite, and that's WIXSITE.com/author Vivian Moore. And if you want to shoot me an email or just say hi on my website, my email, that is authorvivianemore@gmail.com. All right. So now, let's get right to today's show. The title of the show is When You Believe, and the topic of the show is the power of imagination. One of the most powerful tools known to man is the imagination. This amazing instrument designed to create ideas, images, and sensation without any help from the five senses we rely on daily. Even while the body slumbers, the mind is still cognitively aware, creating dreamscapes, taking us places through mind travel. Imagination allows us to go places we've always dreamed about without physically traveling, simply by thought. How many of you have ever experienced a deja vu moment? Raise your hands. Okay, I'm going to trust that you've got them in the air. I can't see you. But anyway, you had a deja vu moment where you were engaged in conversation and you knew exactly what was coming next. And I just find that simply amazing because I've had so many of those occasions where I've been maybe not part of the conversation, but it's as if I had already sat in on that particular conversation before because I knew what each person was going to say before they even said it. But or either you visited a place that it seemed so familiar to you, and though you've never been there before. Excuse me, that is just one of the things that the imagination is capable of. It is such an extraordinary tool that can remember things. Maybe not in the conscious state, but in your subconscious state while you're sleeping. Maybe it's as if the mind travels without the body. And that is so true, whether people want to believe it or not. It is very true. But anyway, God, therefore uniquely different, uniquely designs our minds, giving us the ability to use it for good or evil. Imagination is the link to the desires of our hearts, and it can transport us to anywhere we long to go and create any scenario without any actual physical movement. I've always had a vivid imagination, and as a child, it enabled me to leave reality just for a little while and project my mind to alternative universes. What I mean by this is that life has not always been great for me. Poverty was a reality, and it is a way of restricting your sight. Now, I experienced this on a daily basis growing up, but to escape this truth, I used my mind to elevate myself mentally to a different status. It didn't change the situation, but my imagination allowed me to see past actuality and also gave me hope of a brighter future. Imagination is a key element of life, also what gives writers the ability to tell amazing stories and transform not so bright realities to dazzling images of what could be. I admire fantasy writers for this one reason alone. They ignite the imagination, giving us a peek into ultra realities, fairylands, medieval times, and other scientifically created worlds. As a romance writer, I too possess some of these same abilities, but perhaps on a lesser scale. The things I write about are no less imaginative, but relatable. People who possess great imaginations are passionate. This includes their daily lives and the stories they create on paper. They are limitless in what they can do and where they can go. Gravity doesn't bound their minds, and they are left free to soar to unimaginable heights. Imagination's purpose in life is to engage, ignite, inspire, create, and suspend the boundaries set by the body. The present and future are now partners. They timeshare, allowing the mind to intermingle what is and what will be as one. Visionaries are intricate parts of today's society in many ways. Without them, we are lost in the sea of predictability, boring, and non-productive existences. Imagination, though never intended for daydreaming alone, if used appropriately, is a proactively and potent way of thinking outside of the box. Now, if I may quote Albert Einstein as saying, just for one moment, imagination is everything. It is the preview for life's coming attractions. And I couldn't agree with that more. This is true on many different levels. When I think about technology, science, social, and economical growth, what he said has never been truer. Who needs drugs when you have a more potent stimulant right inside your head? Personally, it's the only stimulant I use to get high on. It is a powerful pick-me-up that helps me to be creative and innovative in my thought process. What good is the mind if we don't use it for what it was designed for? Thinking. What if some of our most pioneering thinkers of the century had refused their gifts, God forbid, and chose a different path? Or some of the more influential writers had chosen, let me just repeat that. Or some of the more influential writers had chosen not to write such eloquent stories that we partake of today. Additionally, we'd be so helpless without how the imagination aids in scientific research. Not to mention lost as well misinformed about how useful a part they play in today's modern society. We have been blessed with so many extraordinary things because of great intellectually creative people. Through the talent of imagination, the list is a long one, and great stories are among those that are at the top. Imagination has healing power. It really does. And if you can envision it, then you can believe it. It is a magical field with whimsical interludes that entertain the senses. How many times have we seen our children or others engaged in conversation with no one except their own imaginary friends? Now, don't panic, parents. Trust me, this is healthy behavior. This activity is helping to develop young minds to be future visionaries because they have a far-reaching sight. I find it exhilarating to see them using what the good Lord gave them, honing their minds to become great thinkers, to live out loud, to do whatever they desire and go wherever their imagination leads them. The world has become to be a much better place because of the gifts and talents bestowed upon us. As I stated earlier, I used my imagination then the same way I do now, although my life has changed dramatically, but the purpose is the same. It is my getaway from the challenges life throws my way. Sometimes an alternate reality is way better than real life. Now, I can't do a complete shutdown. Sometimes I'd like to, but I do unplug for extended periods of time, just long enough to reboot my system, to relax, relate, and release the stress of life. The imagination is an outlet, a way to escape the troubles of the world, especially now with so much bickering and discontent surrounding us. Through this medium, we can create change and hope for growth just by thinking it into existence. Who needs tropical getaways when you have the best vacation destination located right inside your mind? Okay, visualizing isn't as fulfilling as actually being there, but you have to admit it is a powerful image. In closing, imagination is an outward expression of what we'd like to change internally. Life on our terms, not defined by anyone else's ideas, but our own views. Now, you must agree, it's a much broader scope than some boring opinions based on everyday life. We, in the end, have the power to transform minds, to heal broken spirits, and to change the world one inspirational vision at a time. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed today's broadcast. I've tried my best to keep it under 30 minutes or less, and I have accomplished that. But I just want to know how is everybody's weekend going? What are your future goals? What are you looking forward to this spring that's coming, this here now? And I have so many tasks on my list that I want to see accomplished. I have so many things that I want to do as far as writing goals and things of that nature. I want to start an online book club. And so presently I haven't had the time to actually sit down and plan that out, to do all the research on how to get that started. But that is something that I will start looking into because I'm very, very excited about it. And I'm very, very interested in getting that going because I understand that a lot of people, they may not have the time to physically go to a book club meeting. If they have to go to a venue or go to someone's home to sit, for an hour or maybe more to discuss books. But if it's done online, perhaps through, just not through email per se, but maybe chat sessions like you would text somebody and have a conversation. Perhaps we can do that online and do it that way so everybody can discuss, and maybe not so much writing, but have it to be like a have it visual on a screen where everybody has a link that they can see each other and speak, without having to do all that typing, but actually say what they need to say, but just not be in the physical surrounding of each other. So I'm looking into that and trying to get that started, and because I really do want to start a book club because I've read so many great books this year and last year as well that I would love to be able to discuss with other people, and also I love the fact that you can share books online. You can share them on Amazon, particularly. You can share your books with other readers. All you have to do is just get their email address, and then you can send these books to them. You have to go into your devices, and I think there are 2 columns that you can choose from. I think one is to delete a book, and then the other one is to share, so you can send it to whoever you want to. And then once they finish reading the book, they don't have to do anything else. It automatically drops off the list. So I love that feature, that you're able to share books that way, so everybody can get to read these great books and learn about these great stories. But tomorrow is worship day. And I know you may get tired of hearing me say this, but I'm sorry. I have to say it because that's a part of my life. But tomorrow is worship day. And, I look forward to going to church on Sundays. We had choir rehearsal today, and it was great. I'm just so thankful that I try to use all the gifts that God has given me, and to share them to bring Him glory. That's the purpose of it. Not for myself, but for Him, to glorify and honor Him and praise Him. But tomorrow is worship day, and if you don't have a church home, I hope that you will go to church with a family member or a friend, or if you do have a church home, invite someone who does not have a church home, so they can hear the word, because that's very vital. Being with people who are like-minded, coming together, fellowshipping, in the spirit, it's a great thing to be able to do. And I do wish that for everyone. But, as I say every week, this is something that I love, and, and I just have to share the great news. And I have to, impart the importance of worship, because, God is everything in my life. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Him, and because I'm so thankful for all the blessings that He's given me. And He didn't have to, that's just His favor, and it's unmerited favor. I didn't do anything to deserve it. He just saw fit to give it to me. And so I'm thankful for it, and I'm blessed by it. And so I want to bless other people as well. And that's what we should do. But anyway, I love you, and I hope that you love me back. I hope that you continually have a great weekend and have a great start to your new week. Join me each and every Saturday at 6 p.m. On Spreaker for Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore. And I haven't talked about the stats that much this year, but that has not been the most important thing. For me, just doing this show is the most important thing for me. And if you're listening, great. And if you're a new listener, that's even better. A new listener, that's even better. But I hope you're also checking out my blogs that are on BlogSite. And I think there's a link. If you go onto my Spreaker account, it would take you into my blogs. Which they're the same, pretty much the same thing that I do on the show. What's on my blog is like the written transcript of what I've been talking about on the show. Maybe not this part of it, but just a part I do before I go into, just chatting with you openly. But anyway, I hope that everybody has a great rest of the weekend, a great rest of your day. I love you. I hope you love me back. God bless, and goodbye.